Immigrants, give me your tired, poor, undocumented workers. Liberals love to say that they love immigrants, and then the minute you turn your back on them, the little rascals go about pitting legal and illegal immigrants against one another. No, it's really worse than that. They actually pretend that there's not a difference between the two. Have you ever watched a debate about illegal immigration? The next time you do, I want you to see if you've noticed what I've noticed. At some point in the conversation, whoever's arguing for open borders and amnesty for illegals will suddenly stop using the word illegal in front of the word immigration, and will just start talking about immigration, as if it's all the same. During the debate, it usually takes a few minutes for the person on the other side of the debate to notice that the word illegal has been dropped. It's like that old Bugs Bunny cartoon, where he and Daffy Duck are both trying to convince Elmer Fudd that it's time to hunt the other guy. It's duck season. It's rabbit season. It's duck season. It's rabbit season.
No, it's duck hunting season. That, sir, is an investigated fabrication. It's rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. Duck season. Rabbit season. Duck season.
And then, you remember, Bugs will throw in the quick switch, it's rabbit season, and poor Daffy won't notice, and he'll just automatically blurt out, it's duck season.
Rabbit season! Rabbit season! Duck season! Rabbit season! I say it's duck season, and I say fire!
That's the game liberals love to play with this issue. They drop the illegal part from illegal immigration because they don't see a difference between the two. And they don't want us to either. To liberals, there's no difference between someone who came to this country legally and followed the rules and someone who snuck in and who remains here in violation of our laws. And when they debate the issue, they always want to blur the distinction. I guess there's no difference between robbing a bank and using the ATM either. In both cases, you're just taking money out of the bank, right? But most Americans know there's a difference, and the group who really knows are the immigrants themselves. People from Europe and India and China and all over the globe who waited in line, filled out the forms, obeyed the law, and are now lumped together now by liberals with folks who didn't. And the millions still waiting in line, waiting for one of those open spaces that the illegal immigrants keep taking. That doesn't bother liberals, of course, because liberals hate immigrants almost as much as they hate rules. Let's set the record straight. Immigrants, legal immigrants, are America's greatest renewable resource. From the very first days of our country, people have come to our shores because they wanted what America promised. Freedom, opportunity. Nobody took a tiny berth in steerage and crossed an ocean because they heard that in America the government gives you stuff, or that there's a special loan program for people of a certain race or ethnic background. The immigrants who came here legally, and not just long ago, but recent ones too, didn't come here to change America. They love America the way it is. They came because the idea of America, a place that rewards hard work, that encourages entrepreneurs, that places family and freedom and God higher than anything else powerful and attractive and worth sacrificing for. That's why they come. They come to be Americans and to raise American children. No one is more patriotic than an immigrant, which is why the immigration process is such an important one. Liberals don't see it that way, of course. Liberals are always looking for the next big group of victims to help. So for them, illegals are the perfect category. Since most illegal immigrants are from Spanish-speaking countries, liberals want to make Spanish the semi-official second language of America. They want schools to teach in Spanish and government offices to offer bilingual services. They want to offer easy citizenship to illegal immigrants, irrespective of how they got here. In other words, they don't want illegal immigrants to change into Americans. On the contrary, liberals want to use them to change America. It's all a transaction for liberals. They make illegal legal, and that gives liberals the votes they need to enact their dumb policies. Give us your vote, and we'll change America. That's the deal for them. Now, since there are somewhere between 10 and 15 million illegal immigrants in the United States, that represents an awful lot of votes, which is why liberals will do almost anything to win them over. And that's why liberals hate legal immigrants. Liberals also hate the legal immigration process itself. Immigrants are actually compelled to go through a certain process to become Americans. We make them memorize those silly little facts about American history, the ones our own kids don't even know. And we actually give them a test. If they pass the test, we make them take an oath. Oh, the horror! Here is that oath. I hereby declare on oath that but I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all allegiance and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty, of whom or which I have heretofore been subject or citizen, that I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I will bear arms on behalf of the United States when required by the law, that I will perform non-combatant service in the armed forces of the U.S. when required by law, that I will perform work of national importance under civilian direction when required by the law, that I take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, so help me God. That's what it says. No wonder liberals hate legal immigration. Every year on the day of Frank Capra's birth, I try and play a soundbite on my radio show from a speech that he gave at the American Film Institute in 1982 after he received their Life Achievement Award. Now, Frank Capra was a first-generation Italian immigrant who gave us such classic movies as It Happened One Night, You Can't Take It With You, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, and It's a Wonderful Life. It's a wonderful life indeed. In that 1982 speech, Capra talked about America and the journey that brought him here.
Nearly 79 years ago, I celebrated my 6th birthday in the black, dark hole of a creaking ship crammed with retching, praying, terrorized immigrants. 13 days of misery. And then the ship stopped. And my father grabbed me and carried me up the steep iron stairs to the deck. And then he shouted, "Chico, look at that." At first, all I saw was a deck full of people on their knees, crying and rejoicing. My father cried, "That's the greatest light since the Star of Bethlehem." I looked up, and there was the statue of a great lady, taller than a church steeple, holding a lamp over the land we were about to enter. And my father said, "It's the light of freedom, Chico. Remember that. Freedom." Finally, there is something I must say to some other members of my family, and I believe that they will hear me. Mama, Papa, Big Brother Ben, Josephine, Tony, little sister Ann, remember the day we arrived at the Southern Pacific Station here in Los Angeles, and Papa and Mama kissed the ground? Look, the American Film Institute has given me its Life Achievement Award. And for that, I am thanking them and all my friends who have come here. But for America, just for living here, I kiss the ground. Thank you very much.
Now, let's face it, if you're a liberal, you probably didn't get a chill like we did over Frank Capra's immortal words in that speech. Let's face it, I don't think we're in any danger of witnessing a typical liberal offer to kiss the ground of the United States of America anytime soon.